Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here, got another Master Duel video for you. So, you might have noticed that recently on Ranked Ladder, when you go to select your deck, there is another option for loners? Very interesting. So, for those of you who weren't around the first time, it is the return of the Tactical Tri-Loner Ranked Ladder decks. So, the thing to know about these decks is that they are based on actual products over in the OCG. These Tactical Tri decks, you know, in this deck list in particular, is available to buy in OCG format straight up. Each one of these are, which I, and of course, like pretty much literally everybody else in the world thinks is a great idea. It's a fantastic way to get players introduced into the game, into the competitive scene rather, because we all know that like structure decks out of the box are really not viable like at all. These Tactical Tri decks, you could play this out of the box and like topple locals. That's not at all out of the realm of possibility. So I would very much like to see these in the TCG. I know a lot of other players would as well. I don't think it's going to happen, but for the time being, we can at least play with them here in Master Duel. So these are the older ones that debuted last year in Master Duel, and we had videos covering these last year in Master Duel. So we're going to focus on the two new ones today, Rescue Ace and Exosister. What I want to do is I want to not only take a look at the deck list and evaluate how good is this in general and how good is this as a beginner product, but we're going to take each of these decks to Ranked Ladder, and I'm going to play one game each with them and just see how good they are, you know, put them to the test against the competitive field. So let's start with the Rescue Ace list here. This Rescue Ace deck poses a major threat with its spell and trap cards. With just a single activation of Rescue Ace Turbulence, you get to set up 4 Rescue Ace quick play spell cards / normal trap cards. They're even more deadly if Rescue Ace Hydrant is in your monster zone. Build up a solid formation of Rescue Ace monsters and spell trap cards to avert disaster. This loner includes 1 copy of the Forbidden card Pot of Prosperity as per the current Forbidden Limited list. So yeah. Prosp banned, but not in the OCG, so it is in this Tactical Tri deck. Let's take a look at this list here. So, it is lacking on hand traps. That is true of all of these Tactical Tri decks. You know, they do have Maxi and a couple of Ash Blossoms, but generally speaking, that's about it. Now, Rescue Ace in particular does have Rescue Ace Impulse as an in-archetype hand trap, so this deck does have that, but I get it, you know, I do. Like, you want to have, like, that's the thing about a beginner product, right? Like, yeah, it would be nice if you just gave people a fully constructed deck right off the gate, but at the same time, that doesn't really incentivize people to experiment with their new deck they just got, or like try to build off of it, right? In Konami's perspective, they want people to buy more products to add more cards to these decks. But I think even, you know, monetary incentives inside, I think there is actually a good argument for that practice, right? Because, like, yeah, you could load this Rescue Ace deck up with other hand traps, but by leaving it a little more wide open, you give this player who picked up this deck the opportunity to experiment, right? They get to kind of, like, look at their list and be like, okay, so I definitely want to play more hand traps. You know, this card in particular, you know, whatever random card in here, hasn't really come up a lot in my games. Maybe I can take it out. Maybe I can do a little more research and see what other Rescue Ace decks are playing. You know, it is still built in such a way that it's incentivizing the user to get invested in the game by improving their deck, right? That's a thing that I think a lot of people don't appreciate about starter / structure decks, because again, even with these Tactical Tri decks, I have seen the argument of like, well, why not just have a fully competitive deck off rip? And yeah, I mean, of course, there is a valid argument for that, but I think there is a equally valid argument, it is equal in my opinion, an equally valid argument for having it be a little more bare bones like this. Obviously, the main example of this is the 10-card extra deck. Again, they want you to fill out the last 5 slots. I think they could just give you a 15-card extra deck, though, and you could just, like, sub stuff in and out. You're already doing that with the main deck, right? So that's just my 2 cents, but looking at the extra deck here, it's quite good. And even here at the end, we see Promethean Princess, Zealantis, and Salamangreat Raging Phoenix, and that is enough for the Zealantis OTK right here. So not only is it like a competent Rescue Ace deck on the surface of, you know, it's playing roughly decent ratios and has the goal in mind of Turbulence to turbo out your, spell and trap cards, but we are also looking at extra deck strategies here as well. So I really like that there is actually a Zealantis OTK here. So yeah, extra deck looks fine. I wouldn't necessarily be playing the Blackluster Soldier or the Heat Soul myself, but I think those are like still decent options, and everything else in here is stuff I would play in a Rescue Ace extra deck. So maybe not Link Kuriboh and Relinquish Shanama, but I do really like that they give you the option here to pick one or the other. Or, obviously we're playing both, but once you've like worked on your deck, you have access to both. So, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and select this loner deck and take it to ladder. We are going to cover the Exosister deck too, but We'll play a game with Rescue Ace first. Alright. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, so we're taking the second turn, which I'm not horribly upset about because it means that we can just go for the Zealantis OTK, hopefully, probably. Obviously, would have preferred to gone first and set up stuff with Turbulence, but... we did open Ash Blossom. That's good. Ooh, we also opened Dolgar, our Kaiju. That's also very good for, obviously, for going second. Opponent's on a 60-card deck, leading with normal summon Snake Eye Ash. You better believe I'm going to Ash Blossom that. Really hoping they don't have anything else here. Okay, so that resolves. That's good. I wouldn't be surprised if they had an extender, though. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see. Triple attack. Are they going to hand rip me? That'd be really funny if they did. No, they're drawing two. Okay. It's a little scary. So we have Rhoda for the Airlifter. We have Kaiju for whatever ends up on their board. Can summon Fire Attacker. This draws two and then discards one? Okay, that's good. Yep. Because I don't want to discard the Turbulence. And there's a decent chance it'll be the only card remaining in my hand when Fire Attacker is summoned. Well, there's also the card we draw for turn. Ugh, that's not good. They thought really long about that. This is pretty obviously follow-up. I don't know. I mean, it is a 60-card deck, so maybe their build is different, and I don't know how long this person's been playing this deck. That's kind of the thing that I just try to tell myself, right? Because that is, I think the closest that I personally get to tilting... Well, not the closest. I'm not going to try to act like I don't ever tilt. Honey, no, this is negated. Don't try to activate it. Oh, wait, I Ash Blossom. Never mind. JK, I didn't Veiler. I thought I negated that outright. No, they can still definitely use that. Oh, yeah. So what was I thinking they were going to have follow-up plays? I don't know why I thought Ash Blossom was going to stop the second effect, too. I think it was definitely an argument for me to Ash Blossom the second effect and not the first, but with a 60-card deck especially, I wanted to take the chance that... Ash Blossom on Snake Eye Ash was going to be enough to stop their plays. So, as I was about to say, whenever somebody is kind of like, taking their time a little bit, I try not to grief them too much. It is kind of the thing that tends to get me to tilt a little more easily is when somebody's playing slowly. Like, it's funny, if I open a bad hand or if my opponent gets royal lucky, I'm like, that's whatever. If I misplay, I'm like, okay, it's a learning experience. But... if my opponent takes too long, that's what sets me off. And the thing I try to stay mindful of and keep in my head is that, okay, maybe they're newer, or maybe this is their first time playing this deck. Wow, this is interesting. They summoned all of the Millennium monsters and then are going for Makonko stuff too. Yeah, I just try to tell myself that they're new to this deck. Well, because also, like, not only do I want to not tilt, but, like, I don't know. I don't really like insulting people. Like, it's so easy when, they're just on the other side of a screen to be like, this person sucks, they have no idea what they're doing, they're garbage in this game, they need to quit wasting my time, etc., etc. But, like, I don't know. I've made mistakes. I've made decisions that would lead people to think I'm garbage at this game. I've wasted people's time trying to figure out my combo because I don't know what I'm doing. That happens to me pretty regularly. I think that happens to a lot of players pretty regularly. So, Yeah, you know, I want to try to make sure that I'm exercising the same level of patience, you know? I was summoning a Battle Unboxer. This person's deck is all over the place. I mean, Snake Eye in Infernoble stuff is not uncommon at all, but we haven't even technically seen Infernoble stuff yet. This might just be a Snake Eye Battle Unboxer deck. That's kind of looks like what it's shaping up to be. Also, Meta Silver Armor is quite interesting. Cannot use a Spell Trapper effect that targets one monster, except the equipped monster. Okay, so it's not target protection, it's target exclusivity on the equip card there. Okay, so there is an Infernoble Knight Renaud there. Although, to be fair, Renaud is the most, like, splashable Infernoble Knight, so it's not necessarily Infernoble. There's a decent chance it is just going to be, but... I'm intrigued at this point. I want to see what our opponent actually ends up doing here. If they end up taking a little bit too long, I might cut here till the end of their combo line. You know what? Maybe for the sake of the video, I will just do that anyway. Okay, I think my opponent might be coming to the tail end of their combo, because they have to be about out of time here. They're at over 7 minutes, and at the beginning of that turn, they spent a good portion of their time just thinking, so I feel like they're about to run out of time here. But they did end up doing just Infernoble combo stuff. I was kind of hoping it'd be more Battle Unboxer focused, but I don't really care. It's still fine. It looks like it's just kind of like a warrior pile deck overall with like Snake Eye stuff added. Okay, they're still going here. That almost 8 minutes. Like I said, they gotta be getting low. Okay, so what am I gonna kaiju here? I don't have to battle this thing, right? If I do decide to declare an attack, there's nothing forcing me to do that? I don't think so. I'm probably just gonna kaiju the Link Charles. And then I could battle over Appaloosa and then just combo. Are they actually gonna, wait, are they gonna pull this off in time? Are they gonna set up 2 Link Charles? Like, fully set them up? They might. 8.5 minutes. So, of course, there is always, like, summon animations to keep in mind, but... Wait, Synchro, is Charles a tuner? Or did the equip card make it a tuner? I think the equip card made it a tuner. Okay, so... Now we're definitely kaijuing the Baron. Wow, they're still going. Okay, I don't know why they popped Poplar there. They're only at 800. I only have to deal 800 points of damage. That's, in theory, not that bad. Wait, in theory, what am I talking about? I can just... Oh, this summons to my opponent's field. Duh, not to mine. But that doesn't matter, maybe. That might not matter. Okay, so this is live. I cannot believe they didn't run out of time. That's actually very impressive on their part. Okay, so we're gonna kaiju over... Okay, so I have to target this for stuff. I might actually still end up kaijuing the Charles here. Right on time, Maxi. Right on time. Love to see it. Okay. So we kaiju over Charles. We activate Rhoda, and then we lose. Because it gets negated by Baron. Let's go for it anyway. Oh wait, someone's there. You know, you can tell that I never play kaijus because I actually forgot that it summons to their field. Hopefully I didn't trigger a bunch of effects by doing that. I did, didn't I? Well, hopefully I didn't trigger any that matter. I wanted to get rid of the Charles because it's not just a spell trap negate, but it also is a card pop as well if it gets equipped with something, which there's no way it's not going to. But this is adding back, right? Not summoning. Add it to your hand, okay. Let's activate Rhoda. They're going to negate it with Baron. They didn't negate it with Baron. They're going to negate whatever I summon with Baron. Like, there's no shot this Airlifter is actually resolving. Although I can summon Fire Attacker once Airlifter is just summoned, so we're still going here, actually. Hang on. Airlifter F. Is this a when or an if? It's an if, thank God. Wait, is this a when? It is a when. Okay, so we chain that first. And then we should be able to still Fire Attacker on the same chain link. Yeah, we can. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. They kind of just only have the face down card for me to worry about at this point. Well, I don't even... Could I not just enter battle phase and battle over Appaloosa for game at this point? I don't think any of the Makonko monsters force me to attack them or anything like that, right? Oh, Promethean Princess. But it'll destroy it, and then I can summon Turbulence. Also, I can chain Maxi here and get a draw. They're going to use Appaloosa on it, but that's fine. Because this is an... No, it's not an activated effect. Okay, so they wouldn't have been able to Appaloosa negate it. But they're out of monster negates now, which is not awful for me. So now I think it comes down to their last face down card and cards in hand being live. And not even just live, but like... They need to have the ability to stop me from just running over this Appaloosa, which I don't... Oh, it is an activated effect. That's what I thought. Okay. So that was actually necessary to get that out of the way first. Oh no! Not like this! No! We were so close! Are you kidding me? Their last card was Spirit Walk. Wow, we actually almost won that. We actually almost won that anyway. Dang. Ah, that sucks. Unfortunate. I mean, I expected to lose going into that, but like I said, we actually almost ended up pulling out the W there. So, Rescue Ace deck? Yeah, actually fairly competent at what it does. Again, I think the thing we felt more than anything else there was the lack of hand traps in the deck because we went second. But even then, we did still open a hand trap and a Kaiju and then found Maxi. So we got pretty lucky there, but... Yeah, I don't feel like we lost that because of the deck list, honestly. I feel like we lost that... Well, I mean, we lost it because of the deck list again in terms of relatively few number of hand traps, but opening one hand trap and one board breaker going second is like not an unreasonable ask. So, yeah, I think that deck held itself quite well there. Alright, so the other deck here for the Tactical Tri Loner decks is Exosister. And this seems like a very solid Exosister list. Now, granted, I am far from an expert. I have never built or played this deck myself, but I've played against it enough to kind of know the vibe of what's going on. So like, you know, for example, I see Sakitama and Aratama. I know that's not uncommon to see in Exosisters, like for ranked ladder as well, so that's pretty good. We're playing Shifter. Shifter is in this deck. That's interesting. And Nib is in here too. Wow, a lot more hand traps for this one, as well as a couple of triple attacks too. That's very, very nice. Ghosto, there's a lot of hand traps in here. This is actually awesome. We got 7 hand traps, a couple of triple attacks. For a Tactical Tri deck, that is definitely not shabby at all. We're rocking a playset of Martha, as well as Ellis. This looks, yeah, playset of Pax. Main deck looks very, very solid. Again, my complaint here would be that we could be playing more hand traps. We certainly don't need, like, you know, the second Vadis, the second Returnia. I don't think we need Armament at all, or Carbidivum. I know you could play these cards, they're not awful, but these kind of stuff in second triple attack in, you know, an actual Exo deck would get cut for more hand traps. But an extra deck, I mean, looks completely fine. We're playing all the Exo extra deck monsters and Zeus. Not too much more you could really ask for there. So we're going to select this loner deck and we're going to hop into ranked and see how well we do with this one. Let's see if we can win the coin flip this time. Nope. Ah, well. We do play more hand traps in this one, like I said. Oh! Okay, so we are going first. Okay, so it's probably going to be Tempai, Sky Striker, or possibly Ancient Gear. I'm thinking it's one of those three. They're not, I was going to say, they're not also on a loner deck, are they? Okay, so this hand is interesting. Alright, so I imagine we want to Pax for Martha, and we have an extra normal summon in Sakitama, so I could make Returnia? Is that the name of the right gate? Magnifica. I could make Magnifica here, and I guess that's probably what we want to do. Wait, let me read Martha real quick. I should have done this first. You control no monsters or only exceeds monsters. Okay. That's what I thought. Although, maybe I should have Martha'd first? I don't know. Using an Exosister monster as material, you can detail. Okay, so I don't need the second effect here. So we can summon this with 2 Sakitamas, and that's fine. Okay, let's do that. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know. Again, I'm not an Exosister player, so. Alright, we get to add one of the spell traps here. Maybe. Is this going to get ashed? It is going to get ashed. That's completely fine. That's also why I wanted to do the Sakitama into Michaelis before I activated Pax. They have another... Oh, it's got to be Valor or Imperm, right? Because they were not getting past priority at all until I had a monster on field. And now all of a sudden they are. Yeah, it's got to be Valor or Imperm. Which is actually fine because we can still make Magnifica. Because I think Martha's... Yeah, this is all activating from the hand. Including summoning Ellis. It's all part of the same effect. So they can't negate that. Which means I am going to get to go into a rank 4 for sure. Which means I can, yeah, make the Magnifica. So, yeah, let's make Caspatel here to get a search, and because we play 2, so it just makes sense. Oh, I should have summoned her in attack mode. I thought her stats were the other way around for some reason. That's another one of the Exceeds monsters that has really high defense, right? Yeah, this one. Okay, I knew there was one of them. Should we just add a Martha for follow-up plays? That feel like that would make the most amount of sense. And then Magnifica has a quick effect that you can banish, and then it can also yeah. You can also summon Michaelis during their turn, which can banish as well. Using this card as material. Okay, yep. I am in Nib range. This could be a Nibiru. That would be very bad. Okay. Think we're good? It's Magnum Hut. Am I going to ash that? It's Tenbai, right? Because they chose to go second, and now they're playing Magnum Hut. I don't need to banish a card right now. Wait, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect you can return. Oh, it's asking about that effect? No, I'm good. I'm gonna ash this, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna ash this. Tenpai's consistency is low enough that this matters. And I already have a Banish and a Solemn going into their turn, so even if they do have other plays, I could still take care of them. So I don't mind using Ash Blossom there. Alright, let's see what they do. Normal summon Hydra. This will negate the summon and the search, so that seems pretty good to me. Please don't have anything else. I think we still have the Magnifica if they do. Gold Sark. Okay, so Gold Sark for Blaster for Shundra. But I can banish their Magnum Hunt and they won't have a dragon. Do they need a fire dragon or just a dragon? It's a fire dragon, isn't it? Oh, they're getting, yeah, they're getting Genroku. Yeah, no, we're not doing this yet because they could just chain the Genroku effect. Does this target? It doesn't target. Oh, that's insanely good. That means we can... That means I should have chained. No. So they activate, I chain. I would have to banish Magnum Hut. Okay, no, I don't activate this yet. Wait, I was supposed to activate it there because I activate, they chain Genroku, then I banish whatever comes out. So I was supposed to activate it right there. Shoot. Okay, that's unfortunate. And this will also banish a card when it gets summoned, right? Controls or in their graveyard. Okay. Can I use both these effects on the same chain link? I can. Okay, they might be thinking about making like Baron or something here. But even if they do, I can go Magnifica, first effect, chain link, second effect, chain link 1. They chain Baron. I go third effect, chain link 2. Then I can banish it and summon Mikalis anyway. Okay. Oh, they're really thinking here. I'm really kicking myself for not activating Magnifica when I had the priority to do so just now. That was definitely the time to do it. Because again, the reason is for that is that Magnifica doesn't target. It just banishes a card. So if I activate Magnifica Chain Link 1 and they chain Genroku, Genroku resolves first, summoning whatever from the deck, right? Then Magnifica would resolve banishing it. Is this any card? It is any card. Okay, good. Yeah, because I summoned the Pydra. They didn't actually get a chance to activate the effect, so they still can. Okay, so they're adding Sangen Kaimen. Sure. I can still banish Shundra when it comes out. And I think they know that, and I think that's why they're thinking so hard about this. They're trying to figure out if they have a way around that. Okay, moving to the end of the main. Sure, going to battle. Not activating Magnifica yet. Waiting for your Sangen Kaimen. This says it can't be destroyed by battle? No, it says no battle damage. Fadra is the one that says it can't be destroyed by battle. So, yeah, I was gonna say, you have to lead with Sangen Kaimen here. I'll have open priority to... Yeah, okay, so... Oh, they're adding Genroku. Okay. Oh, they already had Shundra in hand. Oh, really? Okay, so if I activate the banish effect here, even if they chain to Synchro Summon, that's fine, because I'll still banish whatever gets Synchro Summoned. And the cool thing about banishing something that's summoned in the middle of a chain is that it won't get any, like, on-board effect. Do I need to chain Magnifica second effect here? I don't think so. No, I shouldn't. Because, like, even if they summoned, like, Baron here, like with these two, I'd still be able to banish it and it won't get a chance to activate its effect because the chain hasn't resolved yet. So even if they were to go into like Bident here, like with these two, and try to revive Shundra, I would banish Bident in the middle of a chain link and its effect wouldn't activate here. I think they realize that, and that's why they're thinking. Yep, there's Bident. And banish. Okay, so that worked out. There we go. Wow, getting a win with the loner deck. That was good. And we almost got a win with that Rescue Ace loner too. That Rescue Ace game literally came down to my opponent's last card being Makonko's Spirit Walk. So I would say that we had a pretty good run using the loner tactical tri decks here. So, you know, I will say this, and keep in mind, we're in upper diamond ladder too. So if you're looking to build Rescue Ace or Exosister and you're not sure if you are, you know, fully interested in the deck yet, I think these are legitimately good options to try them. They might not have full extra decks, but don't need a full extra deck to get a dub. So yeah, I've always approved of this idea. I think it's a very good one, both in Master Duel and IRL, and I would love to see it happen more often on both fronts. But let me know what you think of the loner deck tactical tri decks in the comments below. Would definitely love to hear from you about these. But that is going to go ahead and do it for now. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. You know, I say it a lot because it is very true that when it comes to smaller YouTube channels like myself, watching all the way to the end is the best way that you can help channels like mine grow and prosper. So I really do thank you very much for your time today. But speaking of thanks, we also have some YouTube members and Patreon members to thank as well. So let's do that in our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.